What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to make a video on how my propane and oxygen is set up for my Smith's little torch for jewelry making, and more specifically like the pressure relief valve that's on my oxygen concentrator. It's a really good solution that I found that pretty much completely lets you not worry about stopping the flow of oxygen in the oxygen concentrator. So yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so I guess just basically that's the oxygen concentrator, that's the propane tank. I have the hose running through little Velcro things here. To this is a Smith's little torch. Also, I added this because when I bought the Smith's little torch, people said that the hoses eventually wore out at the connecting point here from bending back and forth. So that was just kind of my solution when I got it immediately, is I put duct tape on here to kind of stifle the movement, and it's worked pretty well. I mean, really well actually. So I would honestly recommend that. But so basically, I guess I'll go over the propane because that's just kind of, you're just gonna wanna, your classic propane regulator with a 410 thread for a propane tank. If you're doing propane, I would recommend that because it's the cheapest, easiest. Acetylene is dirtier, but this is actually an acetylene regulator. I got it really cheap from eBay used. But I wouldn't recommend getting a acetylene one. But this was just really cool. It was really cheap on eBay, and it's like a government contracted one. It's really good quality, all brass, and I just really like it, so I bought it for cheap. You're definitely going to want a spark arrestor on the propane. You're not going to want one in the oxygen. I'll get to that later. But yeah, that's just safety. You're going to want one for sure. This is your life you're talking about. So anyways, let's get into the most important part here, the oxygen concentrator setup. So this is the Philips Respironics respirator. Obviously, it's a medical item for medical purposes. It's made for old people pretty much to breathe, and it's made for a continuous cycle pretty much. It's not meant to hold up pressure for extended periods of time. How it runs is it sieves air through sieve beds, or really sieve tubes, but and it's when it holds pressure, it backs up the system and it doesn't work, and it will set off an alarm telling you that it's bad for it, and it's just a very loud alarm, and it's not good for it, and it's just overall bad. And that's really kind of a problem when you're making jewelry, because you can't have the oxygen closed for extended periods of time, so you always have to be mindful of that. It's just another thing you have to worry about. And also, even if you want a really oxygenless flame, you're going to want just a little bit of oxygen. And even just if you are using just a little bit of oxygen, that can still back up the system and set off the alarm, and it's just not good. So the solution I came up with, I don't remember if I came up with this entirely, or I think I may have gotten the idea from a jewelry making forum, probably Ganicsin, if I did. But yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it looks like. It's a brass 1/4 inch NPT, I think 1/4 inch, might be 3/8, but I'm pretty sure it's 1/4 inch T. And the most important part here is this 0 to 20 psi little pressure relief valve. I'm pretty sure this is 1/4 inch, yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is for air compressors. It might be for liquid too, but I'm pretty sure it's for air compressors. And it's basically just a spring with a little ball bearing in there that presses into a seat, and you can control how much it does, and as a result control how much air comes out, right? And so it's pretty much just something so when the oxygen valve is closed on the Smith's little torch, the air has somewhere to go and continue the flow, which you can adjust right here. And it really just makes it so much better because you don't have to continue to worry, and you can literally just leave this off and have a little bit of a flame here so you don't have to relight the torch every time, like people do with the oxygen tanks. So it's really just a great solution. And to set it, pretty much, I just close it all the way, close the oxygen tank all the way, and then you can just loosen and tighten this and control it to set where you want. Obviously, you don't want to have too much air coming out, because then you're just going to be not getting as much air to your torch when you use it. I found that the alarm hasn't really gone off. I've set it below 1 a little bit, and liters per minute, and the alarm didn't go off. I like to set it about 1.25 liters per minute, and that's where I leave it most of the time, almost all the time, except if I'm using the Smith's Little Torch melting tip or annealing tip. And if I'm melting a lot of silver, then I'm gonna actually close this when I have the flame going to get all the oxygen I can in there. So yeah, that's pretty much the setup, and it's really just a great solution that if you use an oxygen concentrator, you just have to do, because it just makes it so much better. It's one less thing you have to worry about, and pretty much just makes it the same as working with an oxygen tank, which is great. I guess I do want to mention a few more things about this. Basically, I got this for really cheap on Craigslist. I had to drive halfway to Boston to get it, but I got it for $150 for this unit and a little, medical oxygen tank that has liquid oxygen in it for $150, which is a great deal. I'll probably end up selling that thing on Craigslist and get, this will be $100. And also, I ended up changing the air filter because I was having a little bit of problems with the output, which is why you don't want to put a spark arrestor on the oxygen concentrator. I did it first because I thought it wouldn't really inhibit anything, because it's pretty much just a brass sieve pretty much to control sparks, but it really does hamper the airflow, so you're gonna not want to use it. You're not gonna need it. This isn't compressed or liquefied oxygen, so it's not really a problem. And the other thing is, when I changed the air filter, the flow also drastically increased. So definitely change the air filter. Just because we're not using this for a medical purpose, and you think, oh, it doesn't matter, the air quality doesn't matter, it'll get clogged up, and it'll just completely stop the flow, and it will be bad for the machine. So always keep a fresh air filter. They're cheap from Amazon, and preserve your machine. And I almost think that it almost seems like the machine sensed the reduced airflow and even reduced itself. I don't know, maybe I'm just making that up, but I mean, these are really well built machines for medical purposes, so it wouldn't surprise me. So definitely no spark arrestor, and keep the air filter clean and get a new one when you need to. So yeah, I mean, I recommend this for anybody that's using an oxygen concentrator with any kind of torch. It's really just, you may not think it's a big deal, but it really is when you use it a lot. And it's just really is a huge deal and makes it so much easier. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. I have so many other things to make videos on, really. As soon as I get in this mind frame of making videos, there's so many things I can make videos of, so many things I've made. But yeah, so if you want to see more videos of jewelry making tips, jewelry making stuff, or all the other tinkering stuff that I do down here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.